It was past midnight, but the kitchen light was still on. It was past midnight. The apartment was quiet again, not completely silent. The refrigerator hummed softly somewhere in the background. A car passed outside every few minutes. Pipes shifted lightly behind the walls. Small sounds, night sounds, the kind people stop noticing after living alone long enough. But tonight, Elena noticed all of them because she was still awake. The kitchen light spilled softly into the hallway, warm yellow against dark walls. She had turned off every other light in the apartment, just not that one. Not yet. A mug rested beside the sink, half full. Tea already cold. She leaned quietly against the counter, sweater sleeves covering part of her hands, hair slightly messy now, the kind of tiredness that feels more emotional than physical. Normally, this was the dangerous hour, the hour when thoughts became louder, when silence started feeling heavy, when loneliness felt impossible to ignore. That was usually when she turned something on. TV, videos, noise, anything to avoid sitting alone with herself. But tonight, she didn't. The apartment stayed quiet, and somehow, she stayed with it. She walked slowly toward the window, city lights still glowing faintly outside. A few windows across the street remained awake too, strangers living their own quiet nights. Someone washing dishes, someone folding laundry, someone standing alone on a balcony smoking. Little fragments of invisible lives, and Elena realized something. Maybe everyone feels alone at night sometimes. Maybe people were carrying more than they showed each day. She rested one hand lightly against the cold glass, breathing slowly. No rush, no panic, no need to distract herself immediately. That was new. She looked around the apartment quietly, the chair near the table, the folded blanket on the couch, the book she still hadn't finished reading. Ordinary things, stillness everywhere. And for once, the stillness didn't feel empty, just peaceful, a different kind of quiet. She returned to the kitchen slowly, the overhead light still glowing warmly above her. One small light in the middle of the night. She stared at it for a second, then smiled faintly. Because she realized she hadn't left the light on accidentally. Part of her wanted proof that someone was still awake, even if that someone was herself. She sat down at the kitchen table, no phone in her hand, no television in the background, just breathing, just existing inside the moment quietly. The clock on the microwave changed numbers again. 12:47, then 12:48. Time passing softly around her, and for the first time in a long time, she didn't feel like she was fighting the night. She was simply inside it. Eventually, she stood up again, walked toward the switch, paused briefly, then finally turned the kitchen light off. Darkness settled gently into the apartment, soft, calm, safe. And Elena realized something before going to bed. The loneliness wasn't gone. but it no longer felt bigger than her. The kitchen light stayed on a little longer that night. Maybe she did too.